Guys, it's time for another week of GSTL. I am Wolf. With me is Caldor. We have some exciting matches coming up today.
Indeed we do. TSL against Fnatic is today's team match, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. We've been here for quite a while already in the studio. I've been meeting up with the teams and talking to them. Both of them are confident but also nervous, especially the two coaches.
Yeah, the coaches are pretty nervous, and you know, the ironic thing is these guys are such good friends. I can't tell you how many times I've been out with both of these guys together, talking with both of them and having a lot of fun. And, you know, these guys are really close friends, so obviously there's no sort of tension between the coaches in that way. But obviously this is a really important opening match for Fnatic, as well as TSL, who's kind of gone through another layer of their shell, basically. They keep, you know, evolving, changing. It's a very rapidly changing team. Right now they're very Zerg heavy, and they have a lot to prove today, I feel, as well.
Yeah. On the other hand, we have Fnatic and obviously also two foreigners competing in the roster. We have Todd and Nightend here. Also a former Warcraft 3 star. Obviously, Todd is also a former Warcraft 3 player, as is Nightend. But Moon is here, which is also really, really exciting. And we've been to the Fnatic house just recently, and it was really interesting to see that they had a whiteboard up there where they had the name of every single TSL player on the whiteboard in order to prepare for them. They trained a few snipers. They want to take out some of the TSL players in particular, and we are going to find out today if it will work.
Yep, we will find out indeed. Here is our team information. You can see that obviously they've never played against each other before. TSL having a 7-win, 6-loss win ratio. It's over 50%. Fnatic obviously making their debut today. And the GSL points, though, for Fnatic are pretty high. A lot of that comes down to just one man, and that is, of course, Fnatic Oz. But even so, pretty strong team for both, I would say. And Todd, title of captain there.
Yeah, Todd the captain, Johan Merlo, and we have Paul the captain for Millennium. As you could just see with the race distribution, TSL is very, very Zerg heavy. They have 6 Zerg players in the current roster, so this is going to be it's going to be really interesting.
There will be a lot of matches against Zerg. I think we'll see basically Zerg versus Zerg, Zerg versus Terran, and Zerg versus Pros today, all three.
I'm excited about seeing Moon today, to tell you the truth. That's
yeah, how has he changed? How has he evolved?
We casted his matches when he was playing at the Fnatic tournament, the Fnatic Great Call Invitational, and he played against Seed. They had a really epic match, and I was surprised of how much Moon developed. This has been... how long? A month ago? 2 months?
Yeah, about 2 months ago, I would say.
Something along those lines. And since then, Moon has been practicing quite a lot. So I definitely want to see how he evolved, if he was able to get even better, and if he's now able to compete with the TSL
now
players.
he's playing StarCraft 2 only. Yeah. Before, he was switching between Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, practicing for specific tournaments. But here comes TSL coming out with their song, The New Millennium Crushers. And look at that lineup of players. Their handsome nerd hoodies they got wearing. And you can see our player coach coming out in the center there. He's actually a really friendly guy. Spent a lot of time with him. Look at that roster filled with a lot of Zergs, but one strong Protoss and one strong Terran really in there as well.
We have Pole, we have players like Hyun, Symbol. This is going to be a good one, guys. A really strong team, very versatile as well. A lot of strong players in the roster. But Fnatic is not too shabby either.
Yeah, absolutely. I think TSL, one of the most close-knit teams there's ever been, despite the fact that it is a constantly evolving and constantly changing team. They have some of the best communication, I feel, and the atmosphere in the TSL house is unlike any I've ever seen before.
We are taking a close look at the lineup, though, before we head into the game, and of course we will introduce the Fnatic team as well. Here's TSL.Millenium's roster. Starting with our Taran players.
Yep, we've got Pole, Punisher, and Center starting things off.
The 4th race was just introduced, guys.
We have Ragnarok, Hyun, and Symbol, as well as some Zergs. Just a few of the Zergs. You can see several additional ones here. Revival, Shine, Inori, and TSL Value, a very new player.
Shine, one of the players who was able to qualify for Code A. He actually beat TLO in the final with 2-1, was able to advance.
Yep, TLO so close to making it through there.
Yeah, it was really close, but Shine played so well in the final, so now he's in Code A.
I wonder if
in the lineup here.
Yeah, you're right. I wonder if Value is actually the player Serrano, because I heard that Serrano was going to be on the lineup for this team. He may have changed his ID to Value, or maybe it's a completely different Protoss. Either way, I'm curious to see, because it's been, for a long time, only Inori is the Protoss player of TSL, and that wasn't even, I say for a long time, but Inori hasn't even been with TSL all that long either, so that's something to consider.
And here is the Fnatic team. Moon to the right, leading the charge. And of course we also have Todd in here, Night and Alive, and the rest of the team. Todd in the middle. He told us a little bit earlier they had a rehearsal and he couldn't understand what the Korean said, so everyone bowed and he just stood there and was like, what's happening?
That did occur earlier on. You'll notice, of course, Hwani is the coach of the team. He was telling us he was a little bit nervous, but at the same time, he's so excited to be able to be the coach of a StarCraft 2 team coming out today. He did a lot of coach work for the team Eastro, did a lot of work for Counter-Strike teams, Special Force teams. He's a good coach. He has a lot of experience.
And here's a closer look at the Fnatic lineup. Here we have them, the Protoss players, Todd, Night End, Oz, and RS. All of them in Kobe currently. And our Terrans with Alive and Rain.
Yep. And last but not least, the Zergs with Bjol, Departure, and Moon.
Moon, who was called the 5th race in Warcraft 3 because he was just so good. Everyone was like, yeah, he's not from this planet.
Yep. He's from the moon, clearly.
Lost to Grubby 2008 at WCG though.
Yeah.
Epic final. Something that I will never forget.
Those times will never be forgotten, man.
I actually casted the final in German. The World Cyber Games back then were held in Germany, in Cologne, and it was amazing. It was incredible. And the series between Grubby and Moon, this is something that will always stick with me.
You know, that's something I really love about StarCraft 2 is in StarCraft 1, you know, you had this huge group of players, but most of them they just started with StarCraft 1 as their first RTS, but in StarCraft 2 you have players coming from multiple different types of RTS. You have them coming from Warcraft 3, StarCraft 1, some of them coming from even Command and Conquer type games, and it's really cool to see how these scenes have kind of converged into StarCraft 2 quite heavily.
I think TLO actually played, I'm not 100% sure, it was something like Age of Empires before he transitioned to StarCraft 2.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh, look who our starting player for TSL is going to be. It's going to be Shine, one of our up-and-coming qualified Code A players.
He was able to shine at the Code A qualifier, and today, the Zerg for the TSL team, he is up. I think we can spoil it a little bit. He's up against the Protoss.
He is up against the Protoss, man. I won't say which one just yet, but we got word on who it's going to be, and I just cannot wait to show it to you guys. Shine really going to have to prove himself.
This is going to be really cool.
The starting map, by the way, I will spoil, is Entombed Valley, so this is going to be a tough matchup for him to win on. Starting things off on this map, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but he absolutely is prepared. They've had a lot more time to prepare than other teams we saw last week, and here it is. It is Fnatic Night End as our starting player.
The Romanian player here, Night End, who was a former Warcraft 3 player. He played Night Elf in Warcraft 3. Todd, human by the way, and Moon was undead. Okay, let's just skip that. Moon was like, no, that's actually wrong. Nah.
Look at this guy. Look at that face on the screen, and that is the face that you will always see from this man.
Smirk. Yeah,
he is just such a nice guy. Like that picture, that shot, take a screenshot of it, and embodies this character of this man.
He's just a huge troll. He is a huge troll.
He's such a funny guy. It's so true. Well, the map, as I mentioned before, will be Entombed Valley first, which there are not a ton of Protosses in either team's lineup, so to get this out of the way right away is not going to change too much. It's just really going to affect this first match. It is going to be a ZVP, and Shine is really going to have to show his stuff here. Night End is quite popular in the foreign scene, and he's quite highly ranked on the ladder.
And Night End, before the former Warcraft 3 players are crucifying me, is obviously playing the same race as Moon did in Warcraft 3. I should point that out once again after I kind of screwed it up a few minutes earlier.
That's fine.
It's just the anxiety. I'm so looking forward to this game right now. And, well, we are heading into the match now. Zerg against Protoss with Fnatic against TSL. Yet the GSTL with Shine against Night End. Casted by Caldon Wolf.
It's finally going down. I feel it in the air. It's gonna leave you
Here we go with our first game. ZVP on Entombed Valley kicks off today's team match between TSL and Fnatic. And to the top right, we have our TSL player. He just qualified for today.
TSL, shine!
He has to prove himself on Entombed against the Protoss. A little bit nervous there.
Yeah, just a bit. Tough map for Zerg.
Indeed, indeed. His opponent, though, on the bottom right in the blue, is the Protoss player for the Fnatic team. It is
Fnatic Lady Call, Night End!
TLO, by the way, did play Supreme Commander. That's the game from which he transitioned.
I knew he played a game like something like this.
I think there was also a player who transitioned from Age of Empires. I was really surprised because I did not know that you could play it kind of competitively. I didn't know that before, but it was not TLO. TLO indeed played Supreme Commander.
Ah, well, now we have some more insight about that player. It's really interesting. Let's talk about Night End for a minute here. I remember in the beta, I watched this guy play, and I could never put a face to his name at first because I heard about his Warcraft 3 career, and everyone talked about, oh, he's going to be really good. Whenever I watched him play in the beta, I was like, wow, this guy is one of the best European players by far.
The thing with Night End is it's not as much as putting a face to the name, but more a voice to the name.
Yeah. Well, I heard about that too later on. I came to know it.
Night End has a really, I don't want to call it a funny voice, it's just, if you see the guy and he starts speaking, you think like, okay, this is not what I expected. Yeah. And the way he talks is sometimes really funny. He's an awesome guy. It was so funny when he first came here, and apparently his sleep schedule is really weird. We tried to go out with Todd and Night End a couple of times, and every single time Todd was just standing there, he's like, yeah, he's asleep again, and it's impossible to wake him up. He won't come. He needs like an hour in order to get ready. So, yeah, he kind of skipped out. But, well, we have the Nexus building now for Night End, and it's going to be very interesting to see how exactly he's going to play here. He had quite the run in ladder. When he came to Korea, he laddered up so much, and he was really successful. Probably the most successful foreigner in the Korean ladder.
Definitely the fastest one to rise that far, for sure. And that's what everyone was talking about. He went for a Nexus before Cannon, even though his opponent went for a faster pool, and I think now he's realizing this has been a little bit too risky by him, so he's forced to react here, pulling several probes to defend that Cannon until it does in fact finish. And now, since it has completed, he can actually pull his probes back home and start his gateway. But a little bit of mining time lost there for sure.
Not really worth it. He pulled all of his probes off minerals, so now he is safe for now. But, well, we see already the Zerglings heading towards the third in order to take down the pylon so that Shine can take his third hatchery. And I'm really excited to see what Night End is going to do here. He played a few games in the KSL for his team. Well, so-so. He won a few, lost. But not really a really impressive win ratio. On ladder, though, as we pointed out earlier, he was one of the foreigners who had the least problems adapting to the Korean style.
Yeah, he's so easy to adapt. He's like he's more elastic, I would say, I guess, than some of the other foreigners as far as his style goes. Seems to be very adept at changing things up. Now, we saw double pylon block, but now they've both been killed. And our TSL player, Shine, is just double expanding. No gas is taken from him just yet. And everything is a little bit behind for Night End since he lost a lot of mine time, and because he made the 2 additional pylons. Even his Nexus was significantly delayed by this. His Gateway was as well. So he's got a lot of gas starting to bank up here as his core is not even completely done yet. Will he start +1 and go for an early push with the gas he's starting to bank up now, or is he going to do something different? That's going to be what we're waiting to find out right now as the core gets closer to being finished.
I'm really interested about his transition. On this map, we've seen a lot of Protoss players just focusing on the 3-base play, but just lately a few of them try to be more aggressive about it, try to just mix it up, because this is what Zerg expects. You expect the Protoss to take this 3rd base because it's just so easy, but a lot of them will just try to overwhelm you with units early on because they assume that you will just play greedy. And we've seen interesting openings. The game with Live comes to mind, where he started against Hero with a double hatch before Pool. A really interesting strategy and very well played. Won him the game in the end, but Shine more with a traditional opening against the Protoss player.
Yeah, and right now what Niden is doing is going for a fast robo. And the positioning of this is actually, it's quite good. He may be able to deny these overlords. He needs to send a 2nd sentry though if he wants to stop this overlord from seeing it. It looks like now it's too late. He's already been spotted. But he will kill one overlord. The second one does come in to verify what sort of units are being made here, how many gateways he's added. And now he sees, oh, okay, just a robo right now. I'm not too scared, but I have prepared for the potential eventualities. And in fact, he's just going to show the gateways.
Yeah, he's showing them right now. The overlord spots them, sees all the gateways, sees the robotics as well. And Niden is kind of playing it safe right now. He's going for the observers so that he can have a little bit of scouting information. He has the sentries out on the map and in the main base of his opponent. We see the Tech 2 layer. He has speed on his way. Let's see what Shine has planned here. I like his creeps through, by the way. He killed the rocks between the natural and the 3rd, and he's immediately spreading creeps so that he can assist with queens if need be, that they won't have to pass an area where there's no creep and where they are super slow.
Yeah, he's spread that very quickly. Killing the rocks a lot faster than some Zergs are doing these days. Doing the very normal transition now. His lair is about to finish. He'll start Roach speed immediately. He's got the metabolic boost on the way. He's probably going to get Burrow as well. Just all those standard upgrades that you want to get as a Zerg against Protoss. The first Immortal is being chrono boosted out. And we may see Niden go for a big push with Immortals and Sentries. He has only, however, added just 3 Sentries, and now his +1 is a little bit late. And with this Twilight Council going down, it looks like actually he wants to expand with this.
We have double Overseer here for Shine, something that I did not expect this early. He just got the scouting information that he needs. I guess that one of the Overseers is probably at... It looks like both of them are roughly in his main base. He sends one of them down in order to have a second glimpse into Niden's base, but the second one is just a precaution in case there's some DT play going on.
Yeah. And it looks like, I was going to say maybe he tried to kill the Observer as well, but he did not. The Observer does remain alive. He's continuing to send it around, and now the Overseer will come in and see the Immortal count. He's going to see a second one pop out. He may even decide to do some contamination and come back in there. You
made a very good point, though. With the Observer or the second Overseer in his main base, he will also be able to just make sure that this Overseer is not getting too cheeky. Just forcing it back, and here comes Shine, though! Oh, all the Zerglings are trapped, but how many sentries will die because of it?
Looks like 2 so far, and I mean, the Roaches are still continuing strong. The Immortal shields are gone. He may be able to get one more. Nope, not quite. But a very good trade for Shine so far. The Force Seals were good, but they were after the Lings, so they could have been better. And in the end, I mean, he traded really, really well there, and the Nexus is so delayed as a result. Look at the minerals for Niden. He's got 1,000 practically banked up right now.
Exactly, he can't spend it. He wanted to go straight not only for the Nexus, but also for the wall at choke point.
Yeah, the gateways, exactly. That's what he wants to spend his minerals on right now, but he's not quite able to secure that location. And now he's stuck in an awkward position. He's getting +1 armor. And he looks ready to take this Nexus. The question is, can he stop these units? He does get some good force fields off. He'll trap some units. And from now on, he can just take the Nexus.
Very, very nice volley with the 2 force fields. And even if Shine would have been able to squeeze a unit or 2 through, they would have just ended up riding straight into the army of Niden and dying. But he has to be careful here.
You know what's cool about what Shine is doing? We'll hold that thought, because he's actually going to try to force his way up here. That's not going to be successful. He gets back. What Shine is doing here is faking a lot of pressure while taking a 4th and getting an infestation pit. Usually you see kind of one of the 2 extremes. With less Roaches than this, someone tries to take a 4th and get a faster infestation pit. But in this case, he's pressuring and teching up and getting that 4th base, so it puts him in an awkward position if Niden decides to attack. But Niden is on the defensive right now.
He just has the right amount of Roaches so that he can do significant damage, can force his way up this choke point if Niden doesn't defend with his army. Right now, Shine is even supply blocked. He was supply blocked for a while, but built 6 Overlords, so he wants to make sure that this does not happen again. Tech's already to Hive, so already the transition into Hive, he has a lot of drones. He's currently at 73, builds another 8, so he will be at 81.
Yeah, if you're a Zerg player and you're making Hive while your opponent's making a robotic support bay, you're feeling pretty good most of the time. because your tech is just going to be so far ahead. He will have the opportunity to go straight for that Broodlord tech, but he needs a Spire. And in fact, as far as I can tell, he has not even made any intention of making one.
Yeah, so far he didn't build a Spire. We have the Infestors now being built. Pathogen Glands is nearly done. And Night End is just getting additional attack upgrades, tries to rely on his army that he has and just establish this third base, which is so important for him. Even the Colossi now coming up. Well, we still don't have a Spire, so he's not going for a Broodlord combination.
He may, I mean...
There it is.
Okay, there it is. Alright, so
a little bit too late.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think he really missed it.
I think so, because if otherwise this Hive, I mean the Hive timing is actually brilliant if he has a Spire, but in this case now he's like going to have to sit back for a little bit. His faster Hive is going to be neglected.
And he already built all these Spine Crawlers, though he was trying to just make sure that his opponent could not attack into him. He was hoping for the Greater Spire to start as soon as the Hive Tech was gone. I think he just missed his Spire and built it a little bit later because
Absolutely. I mean, especially with like, basically a Hive is like an Infestor and a third, so I mean he made so many Infestors. In total, he has 6 Infestors out right now. He could have cut 2. Yeah, he could have cut 2 to make the Spire for a second. That would have been fine. But in the end, now he's going to have to wait. He's getting Neural Parasite. That's going to be a pretty good defensive spell for him to have.
Have a quick look at the minimap. We have Overlords everywhere, spreading creep, getting scouting information. Is very well played by Shine. He has the perfect vision on the map.
Yeah. I mean, basically, there's nothing that's going to escape his notice. No War Prism play is going to go undetected. Plus, it gives him a lot of free reign of movement.
With the Neural Parasite, I really like this army composition that he has. He has a lot of options in the game. I'm a bit surprised that Night End so far did not add a Stargate, especially given the fact that he has 1,000 minerals and a lot of gas banked up as well. He knows that there is a Spire coming.
Yeah.
He has all the vision with his one observer that will probably die soon as it's trailed by an Overseer.
Yeah, I think adding these gateways as he's done, he's actually added 5 additional gateways. That's going to allow him to do a big push right now, then kind of remax if he wins the fight. And with the timing of the Broodlords, he may actually be able to make this work. But this is unusual. This is actually a really strange timing that he's facing here. Oh, he will lose a group of Stalkers, but with the 5 gateways he has, he's going to be able to remake them very quickly. And Shine could find himself in a little bit of trouble as this is so many Immortals. He's got 5 Immortals and 3 Colossi. Corruptors are on the way, but he has no Broodlord tech yet.
He has it delayed a little bit, and this could be the biggest problem for him here. Shine has to delay his opponent's attack, and here comes Night End. And guys, we still don't have a Stargate, and look at the minerals, 2,500. He could afford the Stargate, but he wants to have all these resources to warp in units as soon as the real battle starts.
He wants to end the game, man. Right now, he's got 2-1 upgrades. The upgrades for our Zerg player are just at +1. Missile weapons, he has no other upgrades. He's about to have +2 for his Lings, but his Roaches are so weak in upgrades. These Spines are going to buy him potentially enough time. 7 Broodlords are on the way right now, but this army it's not being stopped, Kaldor.
He goes through the Spine Crawlers, and there is nothing that Shine can do. He's waiting for his Broodlords. He's trying to fungal. Night End doesn't care. He's just going for it. Kills a lot here, but might lose one of the Immortals as well. They are really, really strong against the Roaches. He should have tried to save it, but at this point, it's really tough. Still 2,000 minerals.
Yep, and the Broodlords are up. He's actually just going to try to circumvent these Spine Crawlers, something he may have wanted to consider earlier. But he will be able to go around the north. The problem is at the north, there are still some Spines set up, and he can always reposition some of his other ones as well. He has a lot of Infestor energy banked up. Only 3 Infestors left, but they have so much energy.
And he cannot take a 4th. He cannot take a 4th. There is just too much creep everywhere, and we also have Zerglings. He's trying, though. He's trying to build a 4th right now as we speak. Here we have it on screen, but he can't.
He's completely shut down. He's trying to force his way through these Spine Crawlers still, but now the Broodlord support may just be too much. And, you know, I have to say, Night End missed his timing here by just a second. I mean, like, if he had come just a few seconds earlier, to put it, like, I guess a little bit less exaggeratorily, if he could have actually broken through, I feel. He's still going to try. He still may be able to do it. He has so many Stalkers out right now. He has 44 Stalkers, and those Colossi are a big problem.
He has to rely on the Blink right now. He's going in with the Stalkers, trying to snipe these Broodlords. But Shine with nice micro is able to move them back. The second wave of Stalkers blinks in though, tries to focus them down the Colossi from behind, doing a ton of damage to those Infestors at Night, and is trying to push through here.
He may be able to do it. He will take out the last of the Broodlords, it looks like. The few transfuses going down. He's holding them on. The Stalker count falling rapidly. It looks like he may be able to break through, but the Zerg reinforcements will clean this up, I feel. There's too many Zerglings coming in, and in fact, he doesn't even get the final Broodlord.
Nighten drops in supply. He's reinforcing, but he still has a lot of minerals. He should have built more gateways here. That would have enabled him to get more units into the game after the first match started, after the first fight started. But as it is, he has still 1,800 minerals, and he just used all his gates.
Yeah, and you know, he has no semblance of another base. Like you said, he's been completely shut down. There are overlords at every base, Zerglings all over the map. He cannot take another Nexus. So what does he do with his minerals now? He can't really dump them into Zealots either. That's going to be useless here. So, I mean, maybe a Warp Prism, trying to do some Zealot drops, that could be something he'd spend his minerals on. But otherwise, he's going to find himself falling a little bit behind very soon as his bases start to mine out. His third base is, you know, it's not going to last forever.
Yeah, indeed, it's not going to last forever, as you just said. And the problem is that Shine has a good economy. He's on 5 bases at this point. He has Broodlords in the game once again, and Knight, and still without the possibility of getting a Mothership into play. Slowly but steadily, he's running out of minerals as his income just is not able to keep up with his spending.
Yeah, you're right. He still has slightly better upgrades. The Spinecrawler count is not as high as it was once before. And here we go. The Stalker's actually trying to close the distance. This is basically his last attempt here. Can he break through? The Broodlords are too well positioned and there's too many Infestors. He turns around.
He has to do damage now. He still didn't kill the Overlord at the 4th base and did not kill the Zergling. So at this point, he is completely all in. He's not trying to transition into and taking another base into just adding another tech. And there comes another Nexus. Where did he place this one? At the bottom left, there's the one spot that Shine kind of missed, and Knight and found it. Even I couldn't see it on the minimap.
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, there's so much creep on the map, it's hard to see those things, but it has been spotted, I believe, by the Overlord. Yeah, it has, and he's just going to send a group of Zerglings over to force the cancel. There's nothing defending that.
He won't be able to take a 4th.
No, he will not. He never will. He's long distance mining from that center base where he killed the rocks, and there's the cancel.
He's taking the supply lead, though. In army supply, they have the same army supply. They're
and he's going to kill the space.
He's taking out the 5th.
He has been pretty cost efficient this game so far, having 2,000 less resources lost than his opponent. He will shut down this Zergling harass, it looks like, in the middle of the map as well. Needs to pull his Stalkers back. Gonna lose a few there. It's okay.
Wolf, we have 46, 47 Stalkers.
Yeah.
A few Zerglings trying to get in here. And Naiden is completely ignoring the Mothership. Most Protoss players will rely on Mothership and Archons in order to defeat a Zerg, but Naiden is just sticking to a complete, well, basically to a Stalker combination that's backed up by 3 to 4 Colossi.
Yeah, you're right. And as far as economy goes, yeah, Shine has a slightly better economy, but he just has been so cost efficient. He's getting Hallucinate right now, and I wonder what that could be for. It could be for so many different things. Like, he could potentially hallucinate some Immortals, he could hallucinate some Void Rays, like, he could do so many different things to draw Corruptor Fire, potentially, or to distract the Broodlords, scare them back.
It impresses me that Naiden really makes this combination work so well. He should have taken the 4th a little bit earlier, though, just send 1 or 2 Stalkers over to the 3rd base in order to kill the Overlord, kill the Zergling, and just take the 4th. And in the mid-game, well, I feel when if he adds another 3, 4, 5 gateways, he will suddenly be able to warp in a lot more units. There comes the Stargate, very late, even the upgrade for shields now. And once again, Naiden maxed out, banking up minerals, banking up gas, and starting additional upgrades, starting his tech. But these Stalkers, will they be able to do the damage that he needs to dish out if he wants to take the game?
It's going to be tough, to say the least. A few probes being taken out by Zergling Harass here. The Zerg player has been maxed, or close to maxed, for a long time. He forces a cancel with Infestors here on the Nexus, and that is going to make Naiden so frustrated. He cannot afford to keep canceling like this when, yeah, his resources were a little bit high, but that's because he knows he can't add the production for a 4th base until he has it. So he's like just kind of sitting back right now trying to get shield upgrades, for example. These Infestors trying to get some good fungals off. Very carefully controlled by Shine. I'm actually really impressed.
Shine is really cautious here. He was in every battle so far. He tries to not move forward too fast with those Broodlords. Tries always to rely on the fungals of an Infestors. And once again, Naiden has to move back. He used Hallucination. He used Hallucination for his Colossi. So that actually looks a lot more scary than it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So these investors actually getting a lot of themselves. He blinks in. I think this may be a little bit premature, though. Not very many spines to support. And it looks like Infested Terran's coming down here. The Colossi, he is not afraid of them, and he will kill Nighten's army.
Night End now dies to Shine. He's down to 110 supply. He has no fourth to back it up. And TSL Shine claims victory in this first game.
Yep.
Night End not happy here.
Not happy at all. You know, he played a tough game. His opponent denied his Nexus so many times. He had Overlords at every base. You know, you said it best when you were like, he found the one place there wasn't an Overlord blocking, and he put his Nexus at the bottom left. Even that was forced to cancel because Shine was all over the map. His composition was really strong. He used purely Stalkers and Colossi better than I think I've seen anyone do this before.
He made it work.
Yeah, he really did.
I feel like with the first push still, when he had 3,000 minerals, it was too early. He should have tried to take the fourth maybe a little bit earlier, maybe add more gateways so that he can reinforce with more units. But it was a tough battle, and Shine, with the map awareness that he had, was blocking every spot. Just picture this fight or this game if Night End builds the fourth at a normal timing when he pushes out with his army.
And if he has a Stargate earlier as well. But even without the Stargate, his composition, the way he used it, the way he controlled seemed really good. Shine was so patient, though, in every engagement. He knew exactly what he needed to win, and if he wasn't 100% sure he was going to win the fight, he just moved back every time.
Yeah, a lot of Zerg players will, as soon as they think they have a little bit of an edge over their opponent, just move forward too fast with their Brood Lords, and then suddenly you have those Stalkers blink in and take them out. And Night End played this really well. He had two groups of Stalkers that in every fight just maneuvered individually. So he had one group trying to flank the right, and as soon as they were fungled, he moved the other one beneath the Brood Lords and was taking down a ton of them. But with the Spine Crawler to back it up, Shine won all of those fights.
Yeah, and you know, do you feel, I feel that there may have been some nerves involved. This is Night End's first time playing in a GSL booth, and some of the decisions he made may have been based on nerves, I feel. Like, just that late Nexus, never killing the Overlord there, may have been just nerves.
There's a lot of pressure here. And
oh my god, it's Moon!
It's the fifth race.
Oh man, I wasn't sure if we were going to see him today or not, but I am so glad that we are.
And we are going to see him in a ZVZ.
Against Shine, who has shown pretty good ZVZ in the past, was able to beat TLO 2-1 in the qualifier. At a time when I was watching that game, I was like, wow, TLO said ZVZ is tough for him, but he looks really good in this matchup right now.
I did not expect the Zerg player. This is going to be very, very interesting. Moon must feel really comfortable here.
Yeah, he definitely must.
This is going to be a great game. Finally, we get to see Moon again, and he's getting ready. Nerves should not be an issue here. He is such an accomplished player. He is so experienced. He played in tournaments all over the world.
Yep.
The Alien, the fifth race, he's back.
He's been known for basically having the best performances at foreign tournaments. He traveled so much that like jet lag didn't affect him as much as other players. He used to play for the team We Made Fox. A very, very strong player. We're going to take a 5-minute break. When we get back, we'll find out if Moon, the fifth race, can tie up the series at the GSTL with Caldor and Wolf.